Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to my global family. This is Power to Lead Show with Ntsiki Ncoco. Thank you for joining us on this episode. What a wonderful journey throughout, and the journey of empowering others, motivating, influencing. Today, without wasting a time, I have a special guest all the way from Mexico. Let me bring her closer so that she can bless us with a beautiful morning manifestation. Good morning, Ragne. How are you?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for this incredible invitation. I hope that we will add value to everyone that takes time to join us. And I hope that everyone gets something out of it. And just to invite you to take notes today, because sometimes writing out things and taking notes can actually take you to the next level. Obviously, you need to take action on those notes as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Ragne, our custom on the podcast is to open the show with a word of prayer or a positive manifestation. I know in the morning you have beautiful sounds that come from your spirit, from your voice. Just speak something positive out there for us.
Thank you, Lord, for this day. Thank you for the moments that we breathe. Thank you for incredible people that are surrounding us. Thank you for everything that we are. Thank you for everything that we have. And thank you for everything that comes to us, which sometimes is in a way of learning and sometimes in a way of really elevating us to the next level. Thank you for this platform. Thank you for everybody that takes the time to listen to us today. And thank you for every single person that empowers someone on a daily basis. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Let me join you, Let me join you. Thank you so much for a beautiful prayer. When women come together, the first thing is a smile. And, it could be a song or a prayer, but that's how we connect, in our spirits. Now, on the platform, we don't introduce the bio of the special guest. We just introduce the name of the special guest. And this is part of teaching people to be confident about who they are. I know you have a platform that teaches and speaks about dominating the decade. This is your moment. Please dominate this moment and tell us who you are. It's your turn now. You brought me into the hot seat on dominate the decade. Now it's your turn. Tell us all the beautiful things that you do as Ragne SINIKAS.
Well, Ragne SINIKAS is a girl that was born back in Estonia in Europe under the Soviet Union. Then she decided that it's time to spread her shine. Took her to suitcases and moved to Mexico 10 years ago. And it has been an incredible journey. In this journey, I founded the World Women Conference and Awards, which is the platform to empower mainly women through education, also to connect the women with right opportunities and the ability to really connect with the like-minded people, with mentors, with coaches, which we all know that in the end of the day, sometimes we need just a little push on believing on ourselves, or we need someone that has the knowledge or someone who has the contacts in order for us to succeed. And this is what World Women Conference and Awards really stands for. This is the unity where we come together, we elevate, we empower through mainly education. And I'm not talking about so much of traditional education, but the education what really allows us to elevate our talent and really bring the best of us on the table, no? So my background, just maybe to give also substance who I really am, has always been in real estate, from agent to developer to investor. Today I work mainly with investors that are looking to invest money into Latin America, and it has been a great journey. And I think that it's one of the journeys also which I have met so many beautiful souls, mainly females in Latin America, that I have been able to touch with my light, and really giving them hope, and giving them maybe some guidance to also come out of their comfort zone and really push forward, and have their own mind, have their own voice, and been able to really use it in the best way possible. So I think more or less I'm also a mother for a beautiful son, which happens to be really the main blessing in my life. Obviously, all the friends and family that I have, I appreciate all of them. Ntsiki, you belong to that family as well for many years now, and truly honored to serve you all.
Wow, thank you so much. And thank you for opening your heart, and your eyes further to other countries, and to say, look, there are other women out there. If there's an opportunity to communicate, let's come together. Let us see what we can do as women, learn from each other, share, impact, and influence each other. And for us, as Power to Lead show, our mission is under our foundation, Power to Lead with Integrity Foundation, to heal, educate, empower, innovate, influence, impact, inspire to love ourselves first, and to love others, and love what we do, to live today, to live a leadership legacy and a heritage of integrity. So hence, everything that we do is so aligned that all we do is to, first of all, we can't give what we don't have. Hence, we start with healing. Sometimes we come together as women, all we need to do is just to talk, or the other one will listen if the other one needs to talk. And that's healing, just a moment, somebody giving you space and to listen to you. It heals the emotions. And we've come a long way in life. We've gone through different experiences. Some come, they have the skill and education, but traumatic experiences and backgrounds that are still there. Then there are like blockages for someone to be in their real space of their passion and purpose. What do you say to that?
I absolutely agree with all of that, and I think it's really important for us as women to really step into our power. I think that that throughout the history, women has always been seen as the creator of life, and the main purpose has always been sort of being a mother, which is absolutely amazing. It's a call to purpose. It's something to live for. But we all also know, whoever has been blessed to be a mother, that there becomes time in our lives when those kids are independent. They have their own will. They always have their own will, obviously, but they have their own wants. They have their own dreams, goals, and then you ask, what about me? What do I really want to do? What do I really want to be? Or what do I really want to become? And this is where we sometimes get confused, because we can't really define ourselves anymore. And the worst part of it, we sometimes define ourselves through the circumstances, which has nothing to do who we really are, or what our potential or talent really is. So I think that that this is the main thing that we should always focus on, so we know exactly where we are and what we're capable to do. No.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ragne. And conversations here, you know, when we just talk and pour to each other's vessel, like vessel to vessel, you know, heart to heart, we communicate, we share experiences. Sometimes people say, wow, I thought I was the only one who was going through this. I didn't know. Or even you think someone is going through worse things than what you're going through. And other people were about to throw in the towel, then they gain the strength to just continue, you know, with what they were doing and not be pressed down by situations. Thank you so much for sharing that. And we are going to speak about, you know, who we are already. You know, we talk about the SDGs, the goals of SDGs, the 17. So today I want us to get to the bottom line of goal 17, because this is part of who we are. That is partnerships for the goals. Let's just share about this. What is your take on this?
You know, one, I think it's always important to define what those goals really, the sustainable development goals are, and in the end of the day, the language or the definition that we all use is that it's a universal call to action to end, one, the poverty, to protect the planet, and then also ensure, obviously, the peace and prosperity for all. And we see that so much going on, the war in Ukraine, the Europe, how we all are affected. It doesn't matter if we are in Europe or we are in Mexico, we are affected by it. So we really, truly need to understand that the Sustainable Development Goals are not only for developing countries. This is for all of us, that each person or human being on this planet. And we need to take responsibility for them, and we need to take action on them. So, and I think that most important, what do we really need in order to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals? It really requires the mobilization of resources to start with, the technology transfer, also the capacity building that we are doing on our daily basis. Ntsiki, you are absolutely amazing role model for that. And effective global partnerships, which as well, your organization, my organization, when we come together, we do that. And I think every single person who really takes the time can understand that we're doing in some sort of way the partnerships on a daily basis, and whether it's triangle, whether it's south to south, whether it's north to south, but our organizations are always in partnerships. So where the focus is now another question, but I think that if we really want to have the achievements, then we really need to focus on those four areas mainly, no?
Absolutely. You know, I just termed the other three, the PPPs. We talked about the poverty that affects the globe, the peace, and the protection. So everything just comes under, you know, that vase with three legs. You know, this reminds me, in Africa, we have this, oh no, all over. You know, the the pot with three legs, the ones that they use for porticos? Yes. So we are looking at that now. Now we are cooking our porticos together, addressing the issues of poverty, peace, and protection. And, you know, it affects everybody all over, you know. So how can we then bring together the strengthening the means of implementation, and revitalize the global partnership for sustainable development? I know you've been really working hard on this. But just tell us the programs you've been doing, because I've been on other global platforms through you. I've known other global people through World Women Conference and Awards, And this is our mission, and we don't want to drop the ball. The road may not be easy for us all the time, but all we know, we are focusing. What are we focusing on?
Well, mainly I think that number one has always been since the day that this foundation was really founded, has been the capacity building, and the capacity building for sustainable development. What does it really mean? We need to build the capacity of individuals, institutions, and communities, and that's where it all starts from. Ntsiki, we have discussed that in so many times in so many platforms that the real education really starts from home. It doesn't start from school or educational system, and we can't blame really the educational system if we as parents are not doing our job. So the capacity building really starts with me. How do I impact the people around me? If it's the close circle, if it's the professional circle, or me as a community, someone who takes part of this community, whether it's national, whether it's international, whether it's global. So it really comes from there. And I think that developing countries need support in enhancing their skills, their knowledge, and institutional frameworks more than anyone else, no? And I think that the really key words, if it comes to World Women Conference and Awards, collaborating with your organization or collaborating with any other collaboration is really comes down to collaborate with on efforts to include the education, the training, and the technology transfer that there is. So what are we doing? We are in streamlining, no? Can you imagine that before COVID? Nobody wanted to streamline. Nobody wanted to be on on those platforms. But now it's normal. Now this has been really opening so many borders for us, because now we don't have borders anymore. Because before it was like, oh, there is a event in United States, we can't go because this and that and the third thing, no? But today you can be part of any event, because hybrid events, if you want to be there live, good. If you can't do it, come and join us online. So I think it's a beautiful example of the technology transfer. And I think the most overlooked when it comes to developing countries like African continent and also the Latin American is the South-Southern triangular cooperation. And it can really play a significant role in sharing expertise and the best practice. Because not only should we learn from developed countries, but we can learn from each other. Because I give you an example. Mexico can learn from any other Latin American country, maybe more, because the culture is so similar, the values are similar, the impact, it's so similar, but we all have different experience, and the experience can actually work better in those countries than maybe developed countries, because just the mindset or the culture is not there, even if you want to create the change, no? So I would say that the number one has always been the capacity building. The rest, I have always tried to also focus on the importance of financing, because there's a lot of ideas that we want to really implement, but we know that we can't really do it. So adequate financing is crucial for the sustainable development. So what we need to see there is the domestic resources mobilization, international assistance, And obviously the private sector investments play absolutely a vital role in those, no? And also the innovative financing mechanisms such as impact investing, which I have been part of, also social impact bonds, which are now getting more and more, let's say, more well known. And this can be the supplement for traditional funding sources, because now people are really looking to other ways where to invest, and it's not that much of making money now. It is more the purposeful profit that really drives the change in those places, no? And when it comes to financing, I think that the last point that I would say is also ensuring the alignment of financial flows with the Sustainable Development Goals is just imperative, because sometimes there is a disconnect in there, no?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, for just sharing on those great points. I wanted us to move on to what you're speaking about now, about finances and financing, especially, funding and grants for the developing countries. But before we get to that, let's speak about the values of collaborations. Because where money is concerned, we know there should be some basic values that we share or we align in our values. Then the issue of trust, and then we're trusted to be given those grants and funding. In collaborations, other people are just coming for money, no relationships. And we always say relationship building first. Then we get to know each other. We've been together for a very long time now, more than 2 years. And building that relationship, it comes with trusting each other. Then you know now that you can do the pointers for financing, and you know how we can handle those. Let's talk about the values of collaborations. What are
Yeah.
your values and best that you can advise other people?
It always comes down to speak the language, the language that the person or organization has for who wants to help, who is interested to invest. So sometimes we forget that we want to present things in our way, and we want to present them in that way because it's the only thing that we know. It's the only way that we know how to do it. So sometimes here is that moment that you need to reach out to mentors or coaches who have that experience, how to present. For example, if you want to get financing from an angel investor, then what are the ground rules? How do you present your information? What do you do? What you shouldn't do? And in the end of the day, what do they really want to see and hear from you? Because we are so in love with our projects, with our products, with our services, that sometimes we focus only on that, and that's not what really matters. What the investor really wants to know is that how this project of yours, or the need that you are really helping to relieve, or you have a solution for, how does it impact others? How does it impact your community? How does it really impact the person that if it's a product? How does the individual really sees that a real need or real desire? If you answer that, the rest is already easier. The number two is always have a capable team. We, especially when we are small business owners, what we tend to do is that we are everything. We are CEO, CFO, sales, marketing, all of that. And now when you go with your business plan to any other investor, they're like, okay, so I don't know you. I don't see that you really have the results that you're telling me that you will be. So how come now when I put the money in, you will have different results? So you need really, when you are putting together your business plan, is also find the right people that have the right experience and will collaborate with you in order for the investor to really see that, okay, those guys have results in previous projects, so this is going to work. And third one is always be transparent and honest. Don't oversell, but over deliver every time. And that happens so many times, especially when we are frustrated and we are ready to confirm whatever, no? So in order for us to sell the product, that would be, I think, the main three things. So so that you should really focus and understand when it comes to funding, and when it comes to funding when you are a small business owner or you have a project that you want to present. And the same goes with the institutional funds. You need to understand what the forms are. You need to understand their process. You can't skip, or you cannot just overlook the details. You just need to follow the steps, and it will take you to the results. But main problem which I see, I have been mentoring quite some number of projects here in Mexico, and the number one thing is that people are so in love with their project and product that they don't see really from outside, and they don't observe how are they presenting their project or product to investors or to clients even.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know, mentorship is very important, or even coaching, you know, just be it coaching people on how to, presentation is everything. And sometimes even levels of presentations, even when you have done presentations before, but to who now and how, the how to present, especially for funding. I think for me, this is where we really have to really sharpen our skills on presenting. I mean, those 2-minute elevator pitch, those pitch, presentations, we go on those training all the time. Just 3 minutes, pitch your purpose, pitch your product, pitch your business, and that is for funding, you know. So we really have to really upskill just for ourselves and for the next generation. I've seen how sometimes we had obstacles there, and I think of our younger generation, our young entrepreneurs, when they get frustrated there. When we get frustrated sometimes because of how, you know, those lions then would be over you, how much more to the younger generation? Really, you have to fight, you have to stand. Sometimes it will be good for you because of your business background. They don't have much, but they still have to fight. Somebody must listen to those voices and support. How do you support the younger generation?
Exactly, it's the coaching and mentorship piece of it. All obviously, the coaching gives you the tactics, and the mentorship gives you the strategy. No, so what's the main difference? How I see those two, and it depends. If you already have the strategy, then you just need sometimes the tactics, and vice versa. No, so it really depends on that project or person who approaches what is my role in that sense. But yeah, it's the best way, because it's sort of also preparation. And sometimes I can and I always say, when you have difficulties in preparation, you will be ready for the battle, because in the end of the day, when you are in front of in front of the investor and you have been practicing it, you have been preparing for it, then this is going to be easy ride. But if you do not do that, if you do not pitch to different people, if you do not really ask the focus group about everything, starting from the product services, ending up with the way that you present it. So just ask feedback. But also really important, do not go and ask, for example, advice from your neighbor on financing if the neighbor doesn't have a clue. He's not or she's not an entrepreneur. She has never done business. So you can't really go and ask for advice from someone who do not have the results in area that you want the advice. So the best advice is always look for someone who has the result in that area and then ask the advice from there.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Ask the right questions and ask from the right people and resources, those who have gone before us. We have other people, they coach us, indirectly. We look at them, the way they do things and follow them. Not that they will be your coach that you have paid and align to in a like official way, but you look at the things, the way they do business, and they inspire you, they influence, and you look at it. Some of the strategies are just there online. They tell how they do this. Others have written books. So we follow those books and follow those strategies and techniques. Thank you so much. Let's get into this area that will forever be constant in life. Change for me is progress. Now let's talk about change. You are in the marketing arena. What is it that we need to change in these collaborations and global networks? What is it that you've learned and what you think we could change for the better?
I think the number one that needs to change is our mindset. How do we see? And we just slightly already touched on the topic that it's not about us. It's not about our project. It's not about our product. It's about how do we impact with that the community that we touch. And once we understand that, the product or the project will sell by itself because it is based on a need or a desire. And once we really truly understand that part, the rest is easy. What also obviously, and we need to educate ourselves specifically when it comes to marketing. The technology is changing so fast, and I know that it's frustrating to keep up with all the platforms, with all the new gadgets, with all of that. So that you have two choices there. If you can't keep up yourself, find someone who loves to do it, who is in the business all day, every day, and knows about those things. And sometimes we do not appreciate our time. And sometimes we do not convert our time into monetary value because sometimes we want to do things that do not really contribute and take so much time from us. When the professional takes maybe 10 minutes to do, we need to invest 4 hours of our time. So now ask yourself, is my time and this effort that I made, does it really brings me back that money in that sense? Or should I just hire that person and focus what I'm good at, and my ratio with having the higher income is actually there because I'm losing the time and doing things that I shouldn't be doing. So but we tend to underestimate the power of the worth of our time. So when you do all the secretary duties up to CFO duties, then that's the wake-up call. If you haven't been able to grow and expand, that's exactly where your growth pain lies. Because yes, you need to believe in yourself. You need to believe in your product, your service, your project in order to hire someone. But if you're not going to do, if the fear is going to paralyze you, then you just can't grow, and you can't expand. So the real question always is, when I ask people that come to me, it's like, oh, but I can't, I don't know, I just I'm trying to be everywhere. If you're trying to be everywhere, you're not going to have any results. So it's the power of one. It's a good book, by the way, as well, to read. The where we really put our focus, we also have the results. And sometimes, and especially women, which we're able to multitask as well, we tend to take so many things on our plate that we really lose the focus. And when we really lose the focus, that's when we lack or have the vague results in everything. And then we're frustrated because it's like, I have then been doing this and that and the third thing, and I don't have the results that I want. But instead of, it is okay to have 4 projects, but allocate time every day to different things. Don't try to do them at the same time. Or allocate the time throughout the week. Okay, on Mondays, my main focus is on that project. On Tuesdays, my focus is on that project. On Wednesdays, on that. So you really, really focus, and you don't need to take every time. We know if you're doing something and the message come in and our mind goes to the message, when we come back, we need to start to think again, okay, where was it? Where was I? What do I needed to do? And it takes time. It's such a time wasting thing that we're doing on a daily basis. But again, we do not measure it. And then we're like, what did I do today? I did so much. And now when I'm thinking about it, I don't remember anymore. So really, really focus on things. I would emphasize here.
Wonderful. You know, I picked this beautiful line that in multitasking, focus. You know, we can still multitask because sometimes we can't help ourselves. We're women, we move with speed and very fast. You're cooking, you're listening to something, you're talking to somebody, you're checking the recipe because of the gifts, talents that we have. But in that, organize it and focus so that you can also see the fruits, and you can, you know, we're going to come back and talk about something that I've picked up that we can even continue to, you know, do some book about it. Self-audit, you know, self-audit. We are going to come back as a group of women, maybe all of us now as World Women Conference and Awards, just to share our experiences on audit, how it helps us to go forward and to slow down. See, I've been working so hard. Yeah, I've been going out to meetings, I've been talking on the phone, I've been emailing, but then the fruits, the results will tell if you are just running around. You know, there's some churches here, preachers, when they preach, they say, you work like an elephant, but earn like an ant. You see,
So true.
we really have to cut that. We have to be focused in our multitasking. We can do it, but then there must be fruits and results. Let's come together and do our self-audit. And where we need to, you know, say, wow, I've been wasting a lot of time here. It's a good thing, but it doesn't give me results. Now, that takes us to the last point that we're going to discuss today before our end of our Empower Hour. Let's talk about exactly this multitasking, going to all events online or conferences or workshops, masterclass, mastermind, anything, whatever that is being there, you know. Now look at the AI. It's taking over. And everybody now, all of a sudden, they're all specialists on the AI, calling everyone, those emailing, join us, let's talk about AI, blah, blah, write a book, in 1 weekend, AI interpretation of everything that you speak. Now, mostly these used in business, but we're focusing on the NGOs, non-governmental organizations and non-profit organizations, because we're focusing on the SDGs. That, yes, they will bring you to your grants, your funding, and to your, to your fruits in the bank at the end of the day, your business growing and receiving the finances from it. Now, on the global networking scale for economic growth, what is a strategy that can be easy for us to move and not be all over, that can help us grow?
Well, one, you touched it. It's the self-audit, in a sense that have you really defined your 5 main goals in life? So you just, simple as that. What are your main 5 that you want to reach? The other thing, what we do not do is that if I ask my coaching clients, like, hey, what is your next 3, 6, 9, 12 months plan? And what is your next 3, 5, 10, 10 years plan? Where do you really want to be? So where do I see in your tactics? Those are tactics. The plans are tactics. The work plans, the action plans, however you call them. But sometimes I see the plans, and you know what I see in those plans? Financial planning. But I do not see the planning for your health, for your family, for other values or the priorities or the main 5 goals that I mentioned. I don't see those there. So now it is the question that if you say that money is not important, but when you come to me and the only plan that you have is your financial plan for the next 3 months up to the next three years, then it's like, okay. So do you understand that we have disconnect to start with, and we can't really get to the results when we do not have clarity even ourselves? Like, okay, the next 3 months, my five values or my 5 goals or however you want to call them are those 5 things. So now every single thing that you do on a daily basis, how do my activities impact those 5 areas? Do I get closer to my goal or not? If not, then I'm not going to this online training, or if it's not aligned with any of my 5 main goals, then say no. Because what we see in our calendars on a daily basis is not our main goals, but the people that request time from you. So every time when people request your presence, is asking yourself, how does this person, event aligns with my 5? And if the answer is nothing, then just say no. Start to say no to those things and start to cut out those things in your life that really do not align or contribute to your 5 main goals. And that's the easiest advice that I can tell you. Whether it's whatever event, whether it's a live event, whether it's an online event, whether it's coaching, whether it's whatever it is. Does this serve me? Will I learn something from it? Can I contribute to others to learn from me? Does my experience help others? And if the answer is yes, you participate. If the answer is no, and you need to be really, really honest with yourself, then you just say, you know what? Thank you very much for considering me. Thank you for the request of my time. But I need to say no because it just doesn't align with my focus. And my focus is really what I'm focusing on at this point. And the most expensive thing in life is our time. And we're just giving it away to people that do not even sometimes appreciate that, or they feel entitled, and then it's more and more and more, and then you're like, oh my God, do I work more for myself or I work for that person which even doesn't pay me? so have the clarity about your 5. Who I am, who do I want to become, what are my main 5 things, and what do I do on a daily basis in order to get closer. If it's having a better health, are you scheduling the time for exercise or going for a nature walk? If that is not in your calendar, it's not your main 5 because you're not doing anything on a daily basis to get there. If family is that, do you have scheduled breakfast, lunch, or dinner with them? If not, how come? They are not your focus. You just take them for granted. They're there in your house, but what do you do on a daily basis to connect with them? If that is not in your calendar, there is no time. To arrive at home when your kids are asleep, that's not quality time. That's not your main focus. They're there, yeah, up to the one point when they don't need you anymore. And then you're like, they don't even talk to me anymore. I don't know what happened. That happened because you did not have them as your priority. And whatever, friends, family, all of that, schedule those times in your calendar. They are as important as any other business meeting that you have, because that is the real value, the real purpose why we are here. So that would be my answer. If you are in doubt, ask yourself, does this serve my 5? If not, say no.
Guys, that's it. She poured from her heart so powerfully. Self-audit. It's time for self-audit. 5 goals. See what is your priority and what is your bottom line and how you do this. So really, real education starts from home. And we have different homes. We have a home with a family. We have a home with your business, your core business. People, like you were saying in the beginning, build up your team. That's your home. So your business education, you will gain from there, where it's people that you so they care really about you. So as we round up, let me thank you, Ragne. Thank you so much for your precious time, for always being on a call and always saying yes to empower somebody. Here we are. You empowered us all, me too. I, was empowered during this time, listening, and really, I'm going back to my self-audit on my 5 goals as well, my values, as we speak to somebody else. So right now, I want to thank our sponsors. I'd love to say thank you to the sponsors of Power to Lead Show, Vuka Africa Foundation in Johannesburg in South Africa, and Amen, Amplified Moms Empowerment Network in California in the USA. Thank you so much for making sure that we have a show running and a good platform every week. For anyone who would love to partner with us as Power to Lead Show, this is a heritage and a legacy show. What we are today is a heritage to us, and a legacy that we need to leave to others. So for donations, you can donate on PayPal me, Power with Integrity. Thank you so much. And if you want to join us on the show and be one of our special guests, promote your product, email me. I'll give you the requirements on powertoleadshow@gmail.com. Ragne has been such a wonderful and a beautiful guest for us today. Just to remind you people, I turned 60, my global family, this year. So I am still in search of my twins, the baby boomers of 1963, to come on the podcast. We opened the show in January, and it was a beautiful one with all the queens. We can learn from each other. You know, in 1963, why I'm focusing on it, yes, I was born on the year, but that was a year of a great dream. Remember, I Have a Dream in 1963 by Dr. Martin Luther Jr. And also in other countries, great things. Nelson Mandela in South Africa and the leading team, Walter Sisulu, you know, and all the great fathers, Owar Tambo, they were there, the Mbeki family, they were there fighting already for our freedom. So my interest and my research is on people who were born in that year. What is the impact on the manifestation when we were born? And there were so many great declarations on that year. Have we learned? Have we evolved? Have we become that I have a dream to love each other globally, unity, freedom, and love and collaboration? Part of it, I see it already. Look at us now. We are in unity globally. We are in love. We have sisterhood globally. So I love other stories to come up from the people who were born in that year and to see what is it that they are doing already. Here am I. I started, you know, through the grace of God, I'm passionate and it's my purpose to talk to people, encourage, empower, influence, collaborate, grow together. So I'd love others to come. We do this and propel the manifestation of those great manifestations from our great leaders. So, Ragne, up to you now to round up with a beautiful word of anything that you want to speak to the globe. This is your moment. Speak to us as we close the show. Thank you.
Maybe just to conclude on when we spoke about the strengthening the means of the implementation and really revitalizing the global partnership for sustainable developments. They are really integral to achieving the sustainable development goals. That's number one that we need to keep in mind. And I think that the number two, what we briefly talked about, two topics in there are the adequate financing, which we talked about, a little also about the technology transfer, and where we really focused was the capacity building, but also the fair trade and effective governance, which we didn't really have time to focus, but those are the key elements. And just think from your point of view, your organization or business point of view, how are you really impacting on national, or maybe you are already international institution? How are you really using those key elements in your practices now? And we talked about obviously the collaboration, innovation, and inclusiveness. And those are the essential for driving the progress towards the sustainable future, obviously. And my last invite is really, let us work together to really ensure the prosperous and sustainable world now in this present moment, and also for our future generations, because we tend to forget that there is life after us. And I have seen so many short-term goals in mind of you name it, from politics to business to everything. So I really hope that there will be more and more corporations and business owners that really make the shift from just making the profit from purposeful profit, and more and more investors that are focused in impact and social impact projects. So this is my invitation. I'm here to serve. I hope we added value to you. I hope you learned something, that you took notes and really take action on everything that you heard today. And Ntsiki, thank you very much for this invite.
Thank you so much, Ragne. That was wonderful and powerful. And thank you to our viewers. Thank you so much for always supporting Power to Lead Show. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would love to be part of what you are doing as well as Ragne's call. Let's collaborate more. Talk to us. We are Power to Lead Show. We are World Women Conference and Awards, Africa and Globe. We have different chapters all over the world. We are just women who love to see progress and want to work together. We know one thing, very soon we are going to meet in person. We live together on the virtual, life for a very long time. 3 years is a long time now. So now in person, we will meet. So to all our viewers, thank you so much. Directly say bye-bye to our viewers.
Be blessed, be guided, and be protected. Lots of love.
Thank you. Lots of love to everyone out there. Thank you.